Good afternoon, everyone. I went live a few minutes early because this is too interesting. May you live in interesting times, right? That's what they say. So I'll just babble for 5 minutes, and I'll do my regular half-hour babble. And so here we are at 6,700. Who would have thunk it? Now, NVIDIA gets an honorable mention here. NVIDIA gets an honorable mention here. What time did the whole NVIDIA insanity start? Let me see. Noon. Oh, it was a noon announcement. Okay. So here's the NVIDIA thingy. So we were right at that 6,700, that 6,670 level. If you remember from the morning, and if you don't, I'll remind you. Now, let me see if I can dig up a chart. This is not really my chart. This is Vol Signal's chart, but it's the same. If I can find it, I can't find it, of course. I'll dig it up in a minute. Actually, we'll go here. If we want to dig up this chart for a second, it's a screenshot of the same thing. This is Vol Signal's chart. I don't know if you can see it on this. You can't. Never mind. Well, if you look at my chart in the morning, you saw the 6,700, the 6,670 customer short call, market maker long was kind of the sticky area, and then customers sold a bunch of calls up here at 6,690, 6,670, 775, and you see it's still market maker short, but once you get above it, and stay above it, then the charm sends us in the other direction. And so right now, we're right in between 90. Now, I'm going to wait for folks to get here. And I'm also going to talk about management of call credit spreads that I had. Not going to go into every nuance of the trade, but I'll just give the basic idea. And one of my subscribers went in at 66.90, and we kind of figured out a plan and a strategy. I wonder if he held on to the debit spreads. Let me ask him. Sound is off a bit. I'm on my earbuds, so they're not the best in the world. Where is it? Okay. Let me see if there's anything I can do to get this sound a little better. If you remember, I didn't have any sound at all this morning. I was on like my other computer, so. Let's get back to this. I'm on a cheap-ass pair of earbuds. Let me see, is there some kind of sound thingy here? Echo cancellation. Maybe if I turn echo cancellation off. Is it any better? I turned echo cancellation off. Well, we'll see. Anyway, so here we are at 6,700, and there's a poll on Twitter. Close over 6,700 has to be by 5. Under 67 has to be by 5. In between that range, 95 to 05, give you an easy range. Or below 95, screw that. Okay, now it's 3:30. So now I can good. Yeah, I turned off noise cancellation. Thank you. Thanks for pointing it out. So as I started a little early because this was just too much fun. We're right at 6,700. Now here's the top of the chop zone from this morning, and it was doing its job until noon. Jensen Wong said he's in whatever he said. I didn't really listen to the details of the news. $100 billion, AI, who knows, revenue over out until 60/30, whatever it is. Long story short, they ain't playing with this AI thing, and I'm wondering when Trump is going to come up with an AI bond or a tax incentive, or special if you lend money to build AI, you get a government low-cost loan or something. This story's not over. I don't know exactly what, but this story is far from over. Okay. So I also want to point out that we exceeded the expected move from this morning. And that's when our buddy, the IC Whale, usually shows up. Sometimes he takes a day off. So the question is it a skip day? He's been kind of inactive lately, so maybe he'll come in and we'll model out what his trade might be, but it's going to be more or less where the 20 deltas are. I ran the expected move for tomorrow, and we'll take a look at that in a sec. Let's go over here. Okay. Let's take a quick look at what the expected move for tomorrow. Oh, I can't want to do it on this. We'll have to look at an option chain. Okay, we'll come back to that in a minute. So what you're seeing here, this is today and tomorrow. I showed this to my subscribers before. And you see this here? 67.40? 40? Yeah, 67.40 on Friday, and today there's someone that we call the 100 gang that sells 100 iron condors less than 5 delta, 1 or 2 DTE, and they sold a bunch up here on Friday, and they sold some more today up in this zone. And yes, that'll make it resistance, quote unquote, but can also make it a sticky grind up. Remember, if we go up, they sell, but if we go down, they have to buy to balance out their delta. And suddenly we have an interesting situation. I'm not saying it's gonna, I'm not saying it won't, I'm just saying pay attention. Okay, why is this thing not working? Come on, you can do it. There we go. Why is it, that's not supposed to happen. That's kind of annoying. There we go. Okay. So right here I have today and tomorrow. Let's turn it to gamma. So we know the gamma from today that's nearby is going to be stronger than that, than the out of money stuff tomorrow. But still, let's see the influence. Let this switch to gamma. Remember, gamma is how close we are to spot and time dependent. The closer in time, the stronger the more gamma exposure there is. And the more the deltas will change, the more the market makers will have to hedge. Doesn't seem to be updating. There we go. Looks like it gets updated. So we see that already the 6740 for tomorrow is as strong as the 6690. That is now a floor. That's now a floor, folks. That's not even a... Audio is pretty bad. You should have been here before when it was much worse. I'll see if I can figure it out. I'm in Florida and I don't know, I'm using my iPod buds, iBuds, earbuds, whatever they are, and I guess it kind of sucks. Let me see. Audio. Let me see what controls I have. Echo cancellation, reduce mic background, automatically adjust mic vacuum. I don't know. Should we try echo cancellation? Did that make it better or worse? No, that, you know, people... Okay, so here's where we are. Here's where we are. Between these two gamma strikes, this is today and tomorrow, but the gamma is real. Okay, now let's get back to 0 DTE. Now let's take a look at the heat map. See that? A wash in a sea of positive gamma. This must be on gamma, because see how tiny all those little bars are? Yeah, see, it's on gamma. Oh, wow, look, yeah, okay, I see. Okay, apply. So the 6700 puts, it looks like. See that? I don't know if you can see that 6700. We're on gamma, I want to change it. If you watch me, you know you're not at any risk of getting a slick, organized presentation. You just get process. Okay, I want you to see these tails. What these tails mean is people bought them and sold them and sold them and bought them. And locally, like I say every morning if you watch this show, locally at 6680, market makers were long, then they were short this much as buyers stepped up, and they were back and forth. The 6670 calls and 75s that were sold in the morning, I guess they're holding on to it and taking the L. What does, let me see what the question is. What does volume mean, and what do those different volumes mean? Okay, so this is actually not volume, this is market maker exposure. This is what the market maker has in his hand right now. Volume is how many were bought or sold. So it could have been 100,000 bought or sold over the course of the day. That's volume. It doesn't really matter if you bought it at 10:30 and sold it at 11, then I bought it at 11:30 and sold it at 12. Okay? So what these tails tell us is that over here, for example, at what is that, 60, at 5,700, people were short. People sold those calls in the morning. We came into the day with those sold. Market makers were long. This is a market maker, opposite side. And then throughout the day, so many people bought 5,700, and now it's 5,700 puts. 6,800. Why not? Why not, right? Okay, so the right side is market maker long, customer short. And the left side, left of midline, is the opposite. So for people that aren't used to looking at the backward side of the table for a second, let me do this. Actually, I'm going to leave it like this. I'm going to go to a different screen. I'm going to leave it like this. We're going to go here for a second. I realize that a lot of people aren't really so used to looking at things backwards, like me. Okay. So here's customer side of the table coming up. So this is what customers have. Customers are short calls and long puts at 6,700 right now. So we have basically a risk reversal. Customers are short all this in here and long puts again at 95. And the blue is net. If you net out the puts and the calls, what do you get? But from our hedging perspective, it doesn't really matter what this is made of, unless we think, okay, well, the puts, people are going to monetize their puts and sell them or buy back their short calls, then it might matter. But for hedging purposes, really all we got to know is where they're long, where they're short. Let's keep it simple. Let's not confuse ourselves with puts and calls. And here's where we are. We're over this cluster of market maker long. So as we go down, they buy. As we move away, they sell. And are these the 85s? No, these are the 90s. 85s came in early in the day. Not early in the day, but after we broke out. And they were there for a while. I think I tweeted it. And now we're kind of getting attracted back to there. Another view that I like So again, this is market maker side of the table. So look at this. Market makers are short all this gamma over here. This is all short. Doesn't matter if it's short puts, short calls. Market makers are short this. And so the zone is where the numbers are small. People can buy the 95 calls, puts, back and forth. And so that's the zone. Okay, so it looks like there's more selling at the 95. And so here's your battleground. There's 20,000, not 2,000, 20,000 calls sold up here at 67.40 for tomorrow. We got another 7,000 up here for the end of the month. We got 5,400 up at 67.60. Here's the other side of that spread. It wasn't exactly 100 wide, but it was, whatever it was 60 wide, pretty big, and sold all in between. So we're not getting up to here, 6,800. We're probably not getting up to or through the 67.40. Well, we could make a run out of it as these decay, depending what happens. Now, I want to talk about something else, just more generically than specifically. So in the morning, I sold calls at 80, and I quickly closed them for a tiny loss and sold them at 85. I sold bunches of puts; those were fine. And eventually, I closed out the calls for a smallish loss, a few $100. And I also bought calls around my call credit spread, 5 wide inside the call spread, 5 wide just below it. They actually ended up being good because those went in the money and they actually made money. But the point of this is to say that risk management for iron condors is kind of different than for a long trade where you can cut your loss at whatever percent. Now, some people do 3x premium, whatever, that's fine. At some point, you look at the landscape and you see, is it worth it right here, right now? And like I like to say, if you think you got on the wrong train, get up on the next station and check the map. And that's what I did, and that's what a few people did. Get up next station, check the map. You know what? The map doesn't say go to the call side. I'm just gonna go the other direction. Somebody was short the 69.90 95s, I think. And we kind of talked about it, and I said, okay, let's buy an 85.90 call debit spread. He was short 20 of them. We bought 5 of those, which made it kind of like a funky butterfly. And that allowed him to get out of the call spreads, get out of the whole trade profitable. I don't know if he held the debit spreads or not. So there's ways to manage this. A lot of times it just comes down to experience and looking at the chart and looking at the roadmap here. So here's what we have. The trade. I'm sorry, man. Ask me. I'll tell you that there's a train coming. And then NVIDIA, in case there was, the 85 calls, 90s might have been okay. Once the NVIDIA thing happened, it was just time to fish, to cut bait right there, right then, or to do whatever your modification is, roll it up, or turn it into a fly, or do something to balance out those deltas. And so, let's see what this looks like. I haven't looked for a while. And so I still have a call over here for today from part of how I managed it. Now, what's this crap here? All right, that was a fly that I turned into. I'm not going to let them. This is up $300. I'm taking the money. I'm not going to play with these people. And so after I bought back whatever I bought back, I had a fly up here. I forgot what I had. I just kept the longs that would cost me, they cost me 25 cents or something, or 85 cents as a souvenir. And this was a put fly that I bought at like 40 cents or something, or 50 cents. Well, clearly that's worthless. I tried to get out, I couldn't. But what I did was, inside the put fly, I sold some more credit spreads to make it a free trade. I paid 50 and I sold another one in there for 70, so to make it like a $20 win. Okay. Obviously, the puts that I sold are no danger. I don't have anything for tomorrow. I had something for tomorrow that closed at 50% mechanically. And then I got the danger zone 40 over here, which, well, 45. Let's take a look right here, right now, what we could do here. And one thing I don't mind doing is I don't mind doing that for 75 cents. Turn it into a little bit of a brokering fly. That's not great, but that gives us a little time. And I'll decide how to manage it a little later. All right, so I took $300 profit on that. Oh yeah, let's look at the IC whale possible. So the IC whale, and some of you who are Iron Condor or SPX people have heard about him. Brent from Spotgano calls him Captain Condor. I call him the IC whale. So he'll be at the expected move, 23, 25, 20. Here's the expected move. Tasty marks it for you right there, so you don't have to guess. So he'll probably, if he stays true to his game, and if he goes, he doesn't always take it, sell something like this for tomorrow. About a third the width of the spread. Now he might be more aggressive. He's been kind of aggressive lately. He might be somewhere here. He might be crazy aggressive and go here. So if I've seen him go for even $2 credit sometime. And so we'll see. Knowing that that 40 is there, I just don't want to play with it. I don't really see it. Okay, so we're talking about pinball, though, right? Okay, let's play the put side just for fun. $0.30, but we have to close above 95. That might be fun. 90. Something like this is going to be, $1.50. That gives me a decent sized tent. $1.40. Now, in theory, and again, in theory, we want to sell where we're not going to go. 95 looks like we're not going to go. I'm going to try this one. Okay, let's see. Filled. Opposite. Let's just start with 240. We can change it. And this is for science. Is this the best trade I could have thought of? No. But with everybody, with all that's going on, let's see how this goes. So we want to close right in here. If we close down 5, this gives us 10 to the good. And if we close right above 95, That gives us all that premium. Oh wait, that's the wrong day. Yikes. No wonder the premium was so crazy. That's okay, I can leave that on, that'll be fun. Yeah, well, it's deep in the money. That's more what I would have expected. $1.70. But if we close over 6,700, this gets killed. I don't see anything particularly thrilling here. 96 pin, he says, huh? It was a 96 pin, and this would do pretty good. This would do pretty good. Right, now my long call from this morning, my long fly, is now worth zero because it's in the money. But, and I was talking about this morning, flies are forgiving, and I got out of that fly at 2:30. 12:34 after the NVIDIA pump up. If I made a couple dollars, it would have been worthless now. So a fly doesn't only mean you have to hold it until you drop dead. I'm sorry, the train ran over you. I shouldn't be leaving it up there like that. 96 pin. Now, TT has been pretty good. He had an off day on Friday. By the way, I think CMG is going to turn around. I might do, I have a spread here, a fly. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to manage it yet. I'm tempted to take profit on the long call, but the whole thing is ITM, so I'm probably going to wait. You're going to make a comeback, I know. It's hard not to call the low pin where we just keep going higher. Somebody kind of got run over a little bit today, thinking, well, we have to go down. Oh, so I'm going to sell calls. Oh, wow, I'm going to sell them even closer because we have to go down. If you come in with a bias and the data doesn't support your bias, well, you can do what you want. If data doesn't support my bias, get out. The data supported us stalling up near 75, 80, 70, 85 until it didn't. Once it didn't, and I would get stuck like Chuck right in here. So 90 to 6,700. That's the zone. Getting back to trade management for a second. Maybe more than a second. Once these short calls at 80 started getting eroded, people started buying and became long. Once this stuff started eroding and we're sticking to 75 and then we got over it. Now this becomes support. It's under us, or potential support, with more beneath us. That was the cue to take whatever. If you didn't take the L then, take the L now. 20 seconds. Where we close? Pencils. Is the pencils downtime? Let's see if you got your mojo back. $93.76. Okay. Now that does put us outside the expected move. Yes, we can. I was going to do that. You read my mind. You read my mind. And I want to see if the icy whale is coming. So to see that, I have to look. I don't need delta. I need to see volume. And what's going on up here? Oh, that's the 25,000. That's those guys. Now, unfortunately, we're not going to see the icy whale updated. Let me see if I have any intel from people on the streets. Okay. I don't know if he's here or not, but let's take a look. I just don't want to mess around with these 40s up here. But let's see. Let's start with a conservative 5 wide. Something like that, maybe for 50 cents. But before we do anything, we're going to look real close and see what's there. Because we're not going to take a trade just to take a trade if the data doesn't tell us it's a good idea. Okay, so I'm waiting. Okay. So let's see. So 6,700, 6,720. Now we could get stuck right in here on the bottom. I mean, the bottom looks easier. I'll go with one like this, if it can fill. Really, it can be more aggressive on the put side, I think. Expected move of 25 or all the way up here. Of course, it's not filling. So take one at 65 and one at 60. Okay, that one filled to 60. On top, I'm going to cancel this for a second. On top, worst case scenario, I want to join these people. How wide did I go? I went 20 wide. I want to join. Oh, wow, we're missing, okay. I want to join these people up here. Could go 5 close at 35. I'll go 1 5 close at 35. And for a 5 wide version of that, 1, 2, 5 wide version of that will be something like 35. 30 might be a little sketchy. That's 30 cents over there. If you can go a little further, 40. If you want to be safer, the 40. Something like this, 66, 35, 35 on the bottom, and selling the 40 with the big whale on top for 40, 45 cents if that's safe on the bottom. Okay, so let's go. Let's think this through. Let's not just pick a number out of our butt. What would safe on the bottom be? Well, obviously it's conditional, depends on where we open, etc. But we have a lot of positive gamma here. So below 6650 looks pretty good, round number. Obviously, the further away you can get, the better. Now let's take a look at what tomorrow looks like. So tomorrow is totally blacked out by this. Other than this, there's nothing here because this is so strong. I don't think we get through this. We could get sucked up toward it. I don't know. I've seen something this dark. I mean, I have on rare occasions, but this is no joke. So on the bottom, below 50, yeah, there's goose all the way down 35. 3/4. Not horrible. Except they don't want to give it to me because they don't like me. Let's just take a quick look at Periscope because it's kind of easy to visualize with them. Okay, so we see this. That's not bad. That's not bad. So here we see this huge position, but if we can, I guess I gotta go this way, yeah. Just to get that 40 out of view, and if we put it to gamma to the Greeks, 6690, below 90 is kind of a bit of a hole to 6670. Below that, there's another hole to 6650, which is outside the expected move. So, 6650, the math, the numbers all say that looks good. And here we got this big thing here. We have market maker positive gamma at 6,700, which can also kind of pull us into this zone. Now again, it depends on overnight action, If we come down to 75 or something, well then it becomes a new ball game. And let's see if I have an update. Let's see if the icy whale, if I can spot them. And so the icy whale, for those of you that don't know, is somebody that has a service, and when we exceed the expected move, his strategy is to sell at the expected move, 5 wide, getting roughly a third the width of the spread, around the 20 delta, put and call, and if he loses, he goes doubles and does it again. This is customer side. Well, let's see if we can get why can't I get flow past 4 o'clock? I guess I can't, so that doesn't help me. And these aren't the kind of numbers that he puts up. Wait, why is this showing? Something is wrong with this. Oh, it's going from the morning. We don't want to see from the morning. We want to see from the church of what's happening now. So for tomorrow, just in the last, after the close, or at the close, nothing much came in. So I can't spot the whale, so that's that. Okay, we got 2 minutes left. I gotta go get a tuxedo. Hopefully I can go get it today. My son's getting married in the 3rd week of October. I don't own a tux. I own overalls though. Coveralls for the goats, but I don't think I could wear coveralls with a bow tie. Looks like somebody bought a debit spray here. Oh well. just make sure that I'm seeing what I think I'm seeing. Customer positions calls. Customer positions puts. Here we go. End of the day flow. To 610, okay. Oh, I see the problem. Oh, that's the put side, okay. On the call side, let's just make sure I have, yeah, I do, okay. Yeah, nothing's really coming in, so I guess he's not here. 215, he chickened out. Okay, fine. Oh, well, no fill. There's always mañana. Good night, everyone. And see you all tomorrow at 8:30. Hopefully I can figure out how to get the audio fixed here, but I doubt it, so don't hold your breath. And we'll see. Maybe find another pair of headphones if you could. Yeah, I mean, I was actually thinking about that, or maybe I'll do it on the laptop, which flows on me. Or maybe I can always borrow a set from somebody to work better than this. Okay, we'll figure it out. I can give you my address. You can overnight them. Just kidding. Okay, everybody. But yes, I'll see what I can do about the audio. I don't know if I have slots for whatever, like for the cards and for the Bluetooth, whatever. I think I do on my computer. I'll have to see. Okay, take care, everyone.